Oh, look, I see the live sign.
You are
Sorry,
live.
yeah, I don't know how long we were just live, but I just saw it go on. Um, Good evening, everybody. A couple technical difficulties, but we are on the air. We're ready to go. I've got panel of people here. We got people watching. I know we're excited to learn about taste and talks tonight. I think we've got some people on the team that are doing them, learning as they go, having really good success, getting engaging people. Setting follow-ups and bringing people in through taste and talks of all sorts, not just inviting people to your house or those types of things, which are great, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about here. But these marketing methods really apply through a whole bunch of different marketing methods you can take, whether it's face-to-face marketing, inviting, whether it's using some of these tactics to invite to an online presentation. So we'll talk a little bit about that too, but primarily this webinar is set up to I know Jeff's got some slides, I think, that he worked on a little bit. Basically just going through, or is it just pretty pictures, Jeff?
It's pretty pictures.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna do
Um,
slides. We're gonna have a really nice conversation because
all right.
we have my upline on and you, and there's
No,
gonna be a lot of
that's
gold nuggets here.
yeah. So that's fine. I mean, so we're going to talk about how to have a successful taste and talk, and some strategies you can implement right away this week. Put together a taste and talk for this weekend, and they're powerful ways to get people involved with Sizzle as a business, involved as customers, and in my opinion, most importantly, it's a very easy way for people that you know and people they know to be aware that you're involved with Sizzle. Because I can't tell you how many times at this point, where my mother, who's not involved in Sizzle, she's a customer, she's not involved really in Sizzle at all, but she knows that I am. She hears somebody talking about, the coffee they drank or the aches and pains they have, and she says, you got to talk to my son. He's got this product, and you should try this. And so I've got emails from my mom's friends about, hey, I heard you have something for this. So, but that will never happen if people don't know what you do. So this is a great way to kind of introduce yourself around and really get people involved in your business. So let's bring on Jeff. We got some others here. We got Gavin and Patricia. Jeff, you kick it off. I know you got a little bit of an outline here.
Yeah, I got a little bit of an outline, and this is going to be really interesting because you're going to be able to apply this to lots of parts of your business, like you said, Elliot. We're going to have this in, a little bit conversation, but I want to kind of give some, I'll say some do's and don'ts, and I have fun with the don'ts. But so here's some challenges that people have when they have a taste and talk. So what's a taste and talk? Well, you're going to talk about these, these awesome products. Now, of course, Sizzle has about 200 products, so you're going to have to depend on the category that you're going to, work with it. But here's some of the mistakes. I'll say mistakes people are making because a lot of people are really getting into these. Let's say they're going to have a taste and talk at their home on Saturday afternoon, for example, and it's going to be at 1 o'clock. Well, they're putting on their flyer and they're really getting the information out there, and they're putting it out there at 1 o'clock. And it's not really working because what's happening is, they're trying to start their little information, a little bit about it, and everyone's, chasing some things. And it's just not working because they keep getting interrupted by people come to the door, all these types of things. So what you want to do, and also so your nose isn't pressed against the glass when people are coming in, is you want to say that we're going to have kind of a meet and greet from 12:30 to 1. See, and that gives everyone time to get there, and you could say, hey, make sure you get there, at least 10 minutes early so you can meet everybody and all this type of things. Okay, so that's awesome. Now your nose isn't pressed against the glass, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's 1 o'clock, no one's here. You can feel pretty good about it because at 12:30 people start showing up. Now here's another thing. I joke around about this, but have some coffee. Of course, we have great coffee. I'm going to show up a. I'm really proud of these latest brochures. I got them all over the place. But I mean, these Tribe brochures are really, really awesome. You know, with all the products in here. But have some coffee. But also, I would say, I'm not talking about serving your guests lunch, but have a little bit of you know, snacks out. Now, I joke around and say I don't even know what they're called, but you know those little hot dogs, you know, with they're wrapped in the pastry. I love to serve those because after they've eaten a few of those, and I start talking about Fucoidan and stuff, I can talk about how what you ate is poison, and this is the antidote. Okay, so a little humor there, but that's the idea. But so you want to get them there between 12:30 and 1. Now, here's something people don't think about if you're new. A lot of people do what we've talked about in the past. They throw up on people. So they know that they're at your home or wherever you're holding this event for this taste and talk. They've showed up early. Here's what people like to do. They like to tell everybody about, let's say they're going to do the triangle of life here, these 3 products right here. And let's say they're going to talk about these products. Instead of waiting till, you know, 1:15, because it's going to start about 1, from 12:30 to 1, they're telling everyone and throwing up about everything about Sisel because they just can't hold it in. And you're like, okay, Jeff, well, if I'm not supposed to do that from 12:30 to 1, and believe me, you know, I'll tell you what something will happen. And if you go against what I say, about 1:10, they're going to know what it's all about and everything, and people are going to start walking out the door just as you're supposed to start getting it going. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. But here's how you can keep everyone handy and everyone staying. 12:30 to 1, so give them that time so they don't feel like they're late or anything. And instead of talking about Sisel and what it's all about, talk to them. If you know them, how are their children? How are things going, you know, at home? You know, what's exciting, new in their life? Anything, but don't talk about what you're going to talk about. In the business and in the network marketing profession, we call it having a meeting before the meeting. So don't have a meeting before the meeting. You know, you get to know them, you get to learn about them because people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. So you saying, well, Jeff, I'm inviting people to my home that I already know. That's true, but they're also going to invite some, they're going to bring some guests with them and go from there. So anyways, that's what you want to do. You don't want to have a meeting before the meeting. You want to get to know people, and there's your structure. So a big deal is if it's going to be at 1 o'clock, you would want to invite for 12 to 12:30. Okay, here's another thing. I'm starting these up again, and the reason I haven't been doing it, I'm moving to a new home, which is really exciting. However, I do them about every 20 days, so a little better than once a month. You might want to start out, though, every 2 weeks. Because here's what happens. You invite a bunch of people, and anyways, X percentage show up. And when you're brand new, you don't know what that is. But I assure you that some of the people that didn't show up the first time will show up next time. So it builds momentum onto itself. So you can build your momentum up. So now, you know, even though there's a little structure here, Elliot, we're jumping to the end of the meeting. In the beginning of the meeting, you don't want to do the meeting before the meeting. At the end of the meeting, you want to announce when the next one is and encourage everyone to bring people to it. So you're going to have that knowledge before it goes into it. Now, let's explain this a little bit better and let's talk about some other things. A taste and talk is where, like mine would be coffee, and it would be the triangle of life here, very powerful. So it would be the opportunity to taste these products and talk about them, taste and talk, and their sensational health benefits. That's what you're doing. So that would be the part that's about a half an hour from, you know, I'll say 1:10 to about 1:40. So now what are you doing from the 1:40 till, I'll say, maybe 2:10? You're hanging out with people and you're answering their questions and you're actually signing them up, in my case, for the triangle of life and some coffee. And if you have some on hand, you're showing them the full retail. Like the coffee is about $76. If you have it on hand, that's what you sell it for, the retail price. But you could say, if you wanted to go online and be a distributor, you know what I mean? Or I could set you up that way. There's no cost to be a distributor. You could get it for $50. So you're getting a significant discount by doing it that way. Do you see So do you see the value that you're presenting there? You want to show them the higher price, and you want to lower it, saying by going online. Now you don't have to go online with them. This is another don't. There are applications you can print them out. Do not go online, because if you're having a computer glitch or something like that, it's going to look really unprofessional. So use the form and just fill it out. You know what it is. You can fill it in with the credit card information, all that. And after your taste and talk is over, you can sit down and you can do two things. I told you this is going to go all over. You're placing their order, yes, but you're also writing a letter to everyone who showed up. And you're writing them for thank you for showing up, and this is a little more personal. Handwritten would be best, but if it's an email, of course, you're not going to be able to do that. But you're thanking them, and this is what people forget. Thank them to showing up for your taste and talk. If they purchase something, thank them for purchasing it. Let them know when they get it in to call you, and you can, talk a little bit more about the best way to take it and this and that, even though they've already tasted it and these types of things. It's amazing. Now, what about the other part? What about the people that didn't order and all this? You still want to thank them for attending. You want to ask for referrals, and you want to give them an online catalog. Everyone, you know how many guests you're going to have. Here's the this is an amazing catalog. This is 40 pages. It even includes the coffee. Okay, I'm just going to show you a couple, and this is amazing. And it opens up to the center of it. I want to show you. The center is the weight loss challenge. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So this is a 40-page glossy calorie. You buy them in 10 packs for $4.50, 45 cents each, and it won't even cost you shipping, because all you got to do is add it to your order. But the big thing is when you do these catalogs, make sure you have some little stickers here with your information on there, right? That's how you dress them up. It was designed to do so. Catalog, do you see that at the bottom? Really simple. I'm doing it upside down. Your information. Really simple. So there's some challenges that people are having. You got to get people there a half hour early, somewhere in that range, and you have to do your little presentation and let everyone have a sample. Now, most people don't know this. The back of the Sisel office has plastic shot glasses that say Sisel, and you can order them in like stacks of 50. So they're just throw away, and that way that allows them to try Fucoid and Inspectramax and other things. And of course they can try cafe out of mugs that you have in your house, and you can have all types of samples there. It's very successful, those things. Elliot, I know you have questions. I want to chime in.
So now that you don't want
me to go crazy here.
Now that you've told us everything.
Yeah.
So let's back up. Let's back up to, I want to take this section by section. All right, the invite, right? So people will ask me a lot about, how would you invite someone to this? And you've talked a little bit in the past about inviting around and that strategy. So can you touch on that, and maybe a couple lines that people can use either over the phone or by email, as far as how to invite to this? Obviously, you've set up a date, a time, a place, and whether it's at your home, whether it's at a little, you've gotten a back room at a restaurant or whatever it is, you've gotten all that set up, and you're going to invite people. What does that look like?
Elliot, I want to point out this too. A lot of people they're scared to do it because they have a little a little apartment or this or that. You don't, people, I use this analogy. You don't walk into the gym big. It's okay to say where you're at. No one starts out big, and where you're going, because chances are your friends want to go to the same place. And sometimes when you just sponsored someone, you can help them with a taste and talk at their home. So I just want to bring that as options. But you invite with excitement, and you invite everyone different. First of all, you're having, if this is at your home, this is really special. I mean, you're inviting someone to your home. I mean, that's certainly an inner circle of trust there when you invite someone to your home. So what you're going to do is the same thing you talked about earlier. You're talking about your mom's friends calling you up because they had a pain or this or that. People don't want to join for money. It's not the money. it's what the money can do. So, I would start out with these are the people closest to you. These are coworkers, friends, cousins, relatives that you're starting out with. And you're encouraging them to bring a friend. So what you're going to find out, okay, Joe at work, his knees are hurting. So you call him up and you say, hey, Joe, what are you doing at 12:30 on Saturday? This is a couple weeks away. Hey, I'm doing nothing. Hey, that's really great news. My wife and I, you put more power in there if you can, wanted to invite you over for a get together. But be straightforward again. Remember how you always say your knees are hurting? We have a product that we're going to be rolling out that is going to show you exactly how you may be able to take some of that pain away from your knees. Hey, Larry and Mary, remember when you talked about you weren't sure how you're going to get your little girl and your little boy through college and that it was approaching in about 7 years? We found a way that we could make extra money for our kids to go to college too. And your friend Sarah and Mike, they're going to be there too. Do you see the power here? So you're inviting people the same way you would invite them to the webinar. Because you know them a little bit, you're finding a challenge that they have in your life. You're saying that you have a potential solution and you'd like to invite them over, and you're letting know some other people. And you're also giving them permission to bring some other people over. And make it very clear, we're going to let you sample some of these products. We're going to let you taste the coffee, whatever it may be. It's very, very powerful. And I tell this story. I learned this from my friend Dee, and she doesn't even like network marketing, which makes the story, I just think, lovely. Okay? But here's how she invites to a party, just a regular party. I didn't realize this until I started calling people up back and saying, hey, you're going to Dee's? So Dee would call you up and she'd say, hey, Elliot, I'm having a party. You want to come? And Elliot would say, well, Dee, who's going to your party? And she'd start naming all the people Well, Jeff's going, and April's going, and Bob's going, and Nathan's going, and Patricia's going. You're like, heck yeah, I'm going. But you didn't know that Elliot was the first person who was he was the first person. So then she calls the next person. She calls Nathan up, and she says, hey, Nathan, I'm having a party. And he says, who's going? Well, Elliot's going. He said he wouldn't miss it for the world with all his friends being there. And that's what I call inviting around. And yeah, I see the smiles, but that's what you do, and it's exciting and it's fun, and people want to be where everybody's else, right? Cheers, remember? Everyone want to go is where everyone knows your name. It's so comfortable walking into a party or a situation that everyone is comfortable knowing everyone. So let them know who's showing up. You can't help it if someone canceled or changed.
I will say, Dee might have stolen that from me because I think that's exactly how I invited girls to parties in college.
Yeah, exactly. Tell them who's.
Yeah, they're all going to be there.
Absolutely, no one wants to miss what's happening. That's bad, Elliot. It's bad what you're talking about. No, I love it. It's the same principles, and of course it works. And it's a lot of fun too. And if you're the type of person who loves people, you like people at your house, then this is going to work really, really well. Now, I want to expand this. This is really incredible. In the back office at Sisel, you can register your event. A lot of people don't know that. We got a little feedback. I don't know if it's me. You hear that, Elliot? There we go. It's gone now. Oh, back again. Oh. Very interesting. Okay, it's quiet again. So, it's absolutely powerful, inviting around, but here's the more power in it. You can put these events in the back office. Now you're like, hey, Jeff, this might be cross-line or sideline. That's what makes the Sisel Global Takeover team so very powerful. Now you might think, hey, like here I am in beautiful sunny Florida. Elliot's in Wisconsin. I know people in Wisconsin that live near Elliot that aren't on the team yet. If he's having a taste and talk, I want to get people to Elliot's house for the taste and talk. Now, what's the power? Elliot very well may, sponsor them to me. Wonderful. But I would do the same thing if he knows people in Florida. Oh, we don't have sound here? Wow. Hey, raise your hand if you can't hear me. Elliot, I'm going to read my Elliot, let's hang up on this and everyone sign back in. I don't really. No? Okay, no.
I I think it's my mics, Jeff, because you're coming through fine.
Here we go. Yeah, all I'm hearing is the same word over and over, so I'm coming through fine. It's just echoing, over and over. But I mean, I guess it's good now. Okay? Sound good? All right, here we go. We're back again. Okay, I want to talk about the power, of numbers. So here we are. We're doing a presentation, and although Elliot might be in Wisconsin, here I am in sunny Florida. I know people in Wisconsin that I'm going to send to Elliot's Taste and Talk. Now, how is it going to give him a boost? The more people that are there, the more excitement in the room, the more people will join, and the more people who will purchase products to try them. So it kind of works like this. If Elliot is just doing his first one and he only has 3 to 5 people there, okay, that's one thing. It's okay. But what happens is that if I send people that I know in Wisconsin over to his home, it treats them the same way. It shows the overall bigness of it, but more people are likely to join. So anyways, it's really, really exciting. Now, the other power comes when I have these Taste and Talks in Florida, people from around the world, as well as the United States, North America, know people. They're sending them over to my Taste and Talk, and I'm sponsoring them for them. So it's really powerful. That way we might bring a room up from 20 to 30 people. I always encourage people to make them feel comfortable. It's very rare. It happens, of course, but it's very rare that someone would show up by themselves. So I always encourage someone, if I'm talking to a coworker, if I'm talking to a friend, I always encourage them to bring a friend. And I was telling some people this, it's kind of interesting, that a lot of times what happens is the person who you invited was like, hey, I'm really not interested in this, but that the friend that was going for the ride and hanging out, looking for something to do, they're like, it's the most fascinating thing I've ever seen ever, and they're totally involved with it, and they totally get it going. So I mean, I just absolutely love that. So what we've talked about is inviting around a little bit, and then the power of numbers and getting more, more people there. So the invite works the exact same way. Now, it's the same thing. We know about recruiting around. So what happens is there and afterwards, you're going to know, at the end, some people are going to purchase products, some people are going to sign up, but perhaps their friend didn't. Well, Sisel's very unique because it gives you 60 days to move people from one team to another. You have one shot at that. So let's say Mary joins and Mike happened to bring Mary. Well, it gives you another shot. You can say, hey, Mike, I don't know if you missed any of that, but your friend Mary joined, and I would like to place Mary on your team. You invited her, and you ask him to join, and it's recruiting around. It works really well. Man.
Can you hear me now? Or is it still crazy?
Yeah, I can hear you. It just echoes. It's echoing, I think, the word fiance.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it didn't like your joke about your college parties. I don't know what's going on. But I mean, it sounds good right now.
All right? So right now it's fine.
So let me see what happens here when I put the picture back up. Maybe I'll have to be muted. Yeah, it's working great now.
All right. Um, I wanted to try to lead you into the, that obviously, conversations, the 12:30 to 1, the half hour before you actually want to start, you want to just have those regular conversations with friends. Or if they're people you don't know, get to know them, who they are, who they know, and you're just saying hi, obviously. But when the presentation starts, how would you recommend structuring that presentation from a standpoint of, would you kind of mirror the way we do the live webinars as far as content goes, from a, you know, I want to talk to you about Sisel as a company and why, and go into some of the products, obviously focus on the products that you have, to sample, and some of the benefits and stories, and then go into like a compensation overview. Is that kind of how you would structure it?
Yeah, Elliot, only a lot shorter. So what
Sure,
I would
sure.
let them know, a lot shorter. So what I'd let them know is I do no more than 3 minutes on the company. So, and I'm not going to do that right now, for time's sake, but I would let them know, that Tom Auer's a billionaire, and he founded this company with $150 million of his own money before a product was ever sold, showing it's got financial strength, and that there's about 200 products. And then I'd say, I invited you here today, if I was doing the Triangle of Life, to really show you 4 products. And I would do the Triangle of Life, and I would do the coffee. And here's what I would do. I was going to say, I'm going to talk about each product for 3 or 4 minutes, so pay attention really closely. And now this is where it gets really kind of fun, and you can really gear the audience, okay? So, here's a picture of these products. We have, Eternity Fucoidan and Spectramax and the coffee. So I talk each about these. So I'd start off with Fucoidan. I would talk about how you can look up the ingredient Fucoidan at pubmed.gov and its sensational health benefits, and I tell them about it, and I'd also tell them my personal story if I was using the product, and some other people that have purchased in the past. So your testimonies, and this is really unique. If anybody in the room has used the product after you do 3 or 4 minutes on each one, I would ask them to tell their personal story if they've got one, just for 30 seconds, a 30-second commercial. Now here's where it gets interesting. This is really great. Now that you've talked about these products for 3 or 4 minutes, so really, so you only have these 3, and you have your coffee, so it's not that long. You're talking 12 to 15 minutes. You know what you're going to say. You got your bulletin boards. It's okay if you're a little nervous. It's okay to have a cue card with 5 or 6 major points on these products. But here's the great thing. Now that you've heard about these products, in my opinion, they taste sensational. Who would like to try a product, and which one would you like to try? And you're going to learn a lot about which products interested certain people. And now you know where to go. And there's some people who are going to try them all. Like, I will tell you, this is just my opinion, that the Eternity, that's the one in the middle here, that's our resveratrol product, tastes the best to me. I have to stop myself because I'm tempted to drink the whole bottle. And then I would say next for me is Fucoidan, and I don't want to put words in Elliot's mouth, but I think he likes Fucoidan better than Eternity, and then Spectramax. But they all taste great. Of course, our coffee's sensational. But that's going to tell you a lot. And you're going to be amazed at who speaks up, because people are just got there, maybe they're having their little pastry with their coffee, and they're going to say, you know what, I just got here, I tried the coffee the first time tonight. It's sensational. So you have a tremendous amount of testimony. So Elliot, you're dead on that. This is just a much shorter presentation, and you're only mentioning that there's an opportunity. So you're not going over all the bulletin points, because it's not that type of thing where you're saying you're going to override this and you're right. You're going to say something to the effect of, like Elliot, you would say, my wife Mandy are doing this because we want to make sure that there's, for our 2 children, we want to make sure that college is paid for, or whatever it may be. Or you guys, this or that, or I'm stepping up to Alexis.
Yeah, another thing I would mention too is, that's a question that both of us get a lot is, well, I don't really have stories. Well, that's why we have calls every morning, and why we have webinars every week and all that kind of stuff, because it's totally fine to use the stories of your friends and business partners when you're talking about the products and business with your friends, that you're talking about Sizzle to. So, but you've got to get the exposure to those calls and webinars that we have, because that's where the stories are. You're coming to hang out with friends that you want their stories. You got to come hang out with them.
Really, Elliot, really dead on, and people don't know what to say. They claim they don't know what to say. It's right. It's right here. It's too much. It's right here. See, I just opened the first page. If you want to know what to say about eternity, here, let me read it to you. Support for more youthfulness, longevity, exuberant health, vitality, and massive energy that lasts all day. Contains intensely concentrated synergistic blend of resveratrol and the key ingredient, that's in green tea. It's just absolutely amazing. And it goes on to say that our biochemists have used nanotechnology. So they did two things. They made sure, and this is all you have to say. They made sure that there's enough in there. In other words, we researched the research, so we know there's enough resveratrol that will give you a therapeutic amount. Because a lot of companies don't. They have resveratrol in their product, but they don't have enough to do anything. So they're not lying. It's just not a therapeutic amount. But the other thing is, can your body absorb it? So you can answer these questions. And so you're answering the questions to potential objections within your presentation. But you don't have to say much more than that. But it's right here. If I was going to introduce brain vitality, I was going to have. I was joking around before we went live. I said everyone doesn't know what to say about brain vitality. So here's a picture of brain vitality. Okay. So anyways, but the back of it, here's what it says: brain vitality. If you wanted to use Instagram or Facebook, it's pretty interesting. So you put it up there. Why brain vitality? Having a difficult time remembering things, hazy, sluggish thinking, and confusion are all part of daily stress of life. But it doesn't have to be. New scientific breakthroughs may support the revitalization of brain function. And here it is. And we're always on the cutting edge, leading, technology. And it's amazing because I like to do my own little research. And this product, for example, even though it's about Taste and Talk, I went out there and I said, hey, if someone was wanted to enhance their brain, be smarter, be quicker, move, right? What ingredients would they need? I'm looking at third-party resources. And then, oh my goodness, Sisel put it in the capsules. It blew my mind. So anyways, they researched the research. It's really good. But Elliot, you can lead this through, but you can see people are wondering, what do I do? I'm all nervous. I'm scared. If you brought them there for those 4 products, you talk 3 to 4 minutes on each product, and then you say, who would like to taste these? And who would like eternity? Who would like Facoidian? You're going to see. It's going to be very interesting what they choose.
Yeah. So you'd recommend going right to a tasting after you're talking about products?
I would right after talking about the products, I'd say first, before everyone, has anyone tasted these before? You know what I mean? Have anyone tried them before? Ask customer. Nathan might raise his hand and say, hey, I've tasted this before. You guys got to try the Eternity, or I've used it. It made me feel this way. Then I would go to the tasting. And it's okay if no one says anything. It's so easy to say, what? You're all new here. That's why I invited here. We talked about it a little bit. Now let's taste it. And then, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say another recommendation as far as tasting goes. Sizzle on their Facebook page, the Sizzle International page, will post the little like Sizzleine recipes and some coffee recipes, like cafe latte mint kind of drink. Lots of good stuff on there. If you haven't tried them yourself, I would check them out. I mean, like especially with the shake, there's a lot of different things you can do with that, from banana and peanut butter and all sorts of really delicious stuff that
They're phenomenal. I mean,
yeah,
it really
you could do a whole blender party just with Sizzleine if you wanted to. Just a thought, like whatever you're into is totally fine, but there's so many different ways to approach it from a tasting standpoint. I'm not going to name names or anything, but I recently talked to somebody who came from another coffee company's taste and talk presentation or whatever, and all they had I couldn't stop laughing when she was telling me this. All they had to taste was it was the coffee mixed with about a half a cup of different flavored coffee mate and whipped up into like a cappuccino frappuccino kind of thing. So it was like the most unhealthy thing you could possibly put in your body, and like that was their tasting.
They sell their healthy coffee. Elliot, you and I joked around about it as well. You know what I love? Like, I was, when I was at the gym earlier today, take a look at this package. First of all, it's packaged really nice. This is just a black. It's 64 cents. You mix it in 6 to 8 ounces of water per your taste. It was so confident because I've given people samples like this all the time. And there it is, 64 cents. But I can give it to them black, because they can add their own cream and sugar if that's how they have it to their liking. But it tastes so good because of the bean we used that it's perfectly, well done. And also, when they buy a box, they feel very confident. I just want to show you, here's a black box, for those who have never seen it. I mean, I don't know how it's showing up on the video, but I mean, here, I'm going to bring it in closer. Look at that. The coffee beans in the bottom there are in, like, gold leaf. And I mean it as it should be, because we're using the Panamanian Bouquet Geisha. This bean, earned the taste test 12 years in a row. It's the #1 bean you can use, and here it is for 64 cents a cup, infused with healthy ingredients. But I love what Elliot said. Imagine having what I'm talking about, a taste and talk about every 20 days. And let's say you're someone like me who needs to lose 30, 40 pounds, okay? Imagine someone showing up every 20 days, and you don't need miraculous results. But let's say every 20 days you're down 5 or 6 pounds, and because people go from one to the other, and they're, wow, I was the last one. Wow, I was two. Wow, Jeff, because people, you're wondering, well, why would they be at more than one? Because this is another hot tip. What I do is when someone shows up at my first one and they join, I invite them to bring their guests to the next one, and then their guests to the next one. Now, that might be one that I set up at their home, but because I'm used to doing it, and I did that 3 or 4 minutes on each product, I very well may do it at their home too. And to get them comfortable, because it's their first one, I go, great, we're going to do these 3 products, and we're going to do the coffee. Okay, wonderful. And because this is your first one, I'm only going to have you do 1 product. I'll do the other 3. Which is your favorite? And I'll let them do that one. And see, at their next one, they're going to do 2. And see how you move people forward? Because people are so confused about network marketing. This is a teaching and mentoring business. So I still remember the first time I asked someone who was training me in the early 90s about a certain subject, and they said, it was a Friday about 4:30 in the afternoon. And they said, Jeff, that's a very good question. At training tomorrow morning, you're teaching on that. Now, that made me all nervous and all this, but what I did was I studied the topic for about 3 hours, and I talked on it for 15 or 20 minutes the next day, and it went absolutely phenomenal. So that's how we teach people.
Well,
so, Elliot, this is going well.
A lot of people forget that most people know nothing about a particular subject. So you spending an hour to 3 hours studying something and absorbing a bunch of internet information and assimilating it into some bullet points, it's very, very easy for you to teach that to somebody. It doesn't take long to become more of an expert than the next guy.
I got to tell you guys something. This is exactly what Elliot. Here it is. You see the TSX there? I've been to my old lead capture page before, but I was doing some advertising. I wanted to make sure it was working correctly, right? And then I decided to research TSX more, and I kept diving into the pages of this capture page. So it's all, I get these links, like a full website at the top, and if you put your name in there, it opens up the other sites, okay? I will tell you, I kept opening sites and I kept reading it. After about 20 minutes of reading my own lead capture pages and stuff, I changed TSX to my next order because it is amazing. And I'm just telling you, I give you the challenge. You go read about TSX, seriously. You go to the lead capture page on TSX and you read the information about it and you see if you don't want to put TSX in your body. And the good news is, like Tom Moore says, no one has it. No one has a more potent TSX, the ingredients in here and the supporting ones, and no one has it for less money. And it's our most expensive product to make, and that's true. It takes thousands of pounds of the ingredient astragalus to make a very small amount. And most companies there are very few have it anyway, but they're very chintzy. They put in way less, like 10 times less than we do, and charge 4 times more, and I'm not kidding. But anyways, there's my challenge to you. If you want to have a getting younger party, go research
That's actually,
TSX and see if
yeah,
you'll buy it.
that's actually a great idea, especially, I mean, with all the baby boomers, coming of age, retiring here.
Age reversal party, there they are.
Our age reversal party, oh my gosh. And that's the thing, all you'd have to do is read the TSX information, because it's that incredible.
It's mind-blowing. And you talk about age reversal, it's not out yet, but it's coming out. And when I say any day now, that's just the flat-out truth. Any day now, we're going to have that face cream that if you're over 40, it's guaranteed to take 5 years off your face in 14 days, and in 30 days, 8 years off, and you're the one who decides. They want a before, they want an after, and it's non-toxic, and it's going to be amazing, and they've already tested it, and it's coming out any day. You talk about an age reversal with these three right here, the Triangle of Life, and the TSX that's now on its way to my home. And you bring out the face cream. Oh my gosh, you're handling it from internally, externally, and I mean, you got some amazing stuff. So, with 12 different categories in weight loss and coffee and age reversal and personal care products, you can't do that all. You have to decide what you really love, because they're going to hear. You can hear it in me about TSX. The passion. I take these products. That's why I do it. A sizzling party. You could have a weight loss support party. Oh my goodness. And then you start learning stuff. See that eternity in the center there? I just want to point out that is the 1-2 punch. Eternity is with the Suturin genes. I'm not going to get into that, but I'll just say this: Eternity with TSX, it's unbelievable. They both enhance each other. It's crazy. So I'm already taking that. I'm going to add the TSX. And I knew this stuff, but you guys,
Right,
I'm excited. I can't wait to get it. Sorry.
all right, so we've got invites, we've got talking about products and tastings. So how do you start into the business end of it? Because a taste and talk to me is a little bit different than I mean, unless they're one of the people that you said, hey, I know you've thought about how you're going to get your kids through college. I found a way that I could probably help you with that. Let me show you. However, but if it's not addressed up front, how do you bring in that business opportunity then to those people who are there because they know that you're having a coffee tasting party?
It's really great, Elliot, because the people that are trying Eternity. So the reason they ask to taste Eternity, for example, okay, is because they like what you said about it. All right, so they've tasted it, so they're very, that. So here's why most people fail. They simply don't ask for the order. So they've tried it, you asked them what they like best about it, and you're simply asking the question, this is a very simple question. When I invited you over here, you might know the answer, but if you say it doesn't make it true. You have to ask them even if you know the answer. What brought you to my taste and talk? The business opportunity. What brought you to my taste talk? My knees hurt. So you're going to find out. Don't go away from that. Okay? If it was because help them with if Fucoiden's going to help them with the health challenge they had, use the Fucoiden Eternity. Now, if they say I wanted to pay for the education, we'll say it's absolutely wonderful. And now you can talk to them a little bit about that, because you can say that's great, because today, companies would charge $50 to a couple $100 just to join. You wouldn't even get any product. Today, you can join for no charge. All you're doing is buying products, and that's when you can tell them that you don't even have to go into points or anything like that. You could say Eternity would cover your cost, and you can explain to them that we pay a very huge fast start bonus of 30%.
So to me it sounds like you're going into that one-on-one.
Yeah, you're going down to one-on-one at that point. You're asking, you are moving to one-on-one. There's no question about it.
You wouldn't do a 5-minute general business overview like before or after the tastings?
No, I would just talk to them about the products they like and taste it, and then I would go on the one-on-one, and I'd ask them that question. I would go on the one-on-one. And also what's fascinating, Elliot, is we live pretty far apart. But anyways, you have people in your neighborhood that are on your team. You're like, how would I do this with 12 people in my home? Well, really, 12 people in your home is really like 6 because they usually come in couples. So you're talking to them one-on-one. But
Sure.
your guests who are already on the team, it's very powerful because they're assisting.
I got you. So, because in my mind, I kept envisioning larger gatherings, but then when you bring it back down to the fact that you're just having some friends over for these, yeah, you might have a dozen people there, but most of them aren't going to be there alone.
You want a
Um,
dozen people, yes.
yeah, so that makes a lot more sense. So
And you're not
thanks
pointing,
for
you're
that.
scaring them. If you're going to point to your board back here and your whiteboard and you start drawing Amway circles, that's going to be a problem for you. This is laid back. These are, these are your friends, coworkers. These types of things are people from your neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah,
Invite them over. John, you keep trying to see my new staircase in my house. Here's your chance of doing a taste and talk.
yeah, yeah.
Whatever it may be.
No,
But it
I
grows,
like that. I like that.
yeah, it grows though because it's so personal. It grows because there's going to be people that are joining your business. As a matter of fact, I can tell you right now, it's better than this, but 1 in 3 will join your business. Better than, I'll just say half. Half the people will buy a product or more. And what's nice about it is, 2 weeks later, it's at first you want them 2 weeks apart, and then you can go to 20. Okay? But 2 weeks later, you want to schedule another one. The people that joined as a business, the people that want more information, see, you want to invite everyone back. The ones that love what they hear, and you want them to bring friends. And now you see how you continue. They might have only done it for the product, but we're going to giving more product information out. So it's incredible because at that point they might decide to join. Now, people who didn't join as the opportunity, when they see that some of their friends they brought in are joining the opportunity, they may change their mind. That's where they'll say, hey, I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to too. And they're going to say stuff like, they signed up first, though. That's okay. Our company's really cool. We'll place them on your team because they were your guests. So, and that's where the integrity comes in. It's really awesome. So, and then we talked, Elliot, I jump around, as you know, but we talked about the follow-up. Everyone should get a follow-up, whether it's an email, a handwritten letter, is the most powerful. I mean, even if they're your neighbor, I am telling you, they're your next door neighbor. Handwrite it, stick a stamp on it, and let them get it in the box the next day because it will only take 1 or 2 days. And it is powerful for them to open up and have it handwritten. Thank you for attending. It doesn't matter whether they became a distributor or bought or not. Thank them for attending your event. It's just powerful.
Yeah, I like it. I think the key point for me, the key takeaway was the scale in my head when I pictured putting together a taste and talk. It turned into a 100-person hotel meeting. You know what I mean?
With kids running around.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I love the keep it small, intimate. You're sitting around with friends. You're just telling them about some products and asking them which ones they like. Yeah.
You have to know up front too. This is kind of a big deal, and this is just one way or the other. You have to know the people who like to do. They have kids. You need to let them know whether you want kids here or not. You can, of course, get more people if there's kids if they like to play together. But then, let's say you have a high school age child. You might give them a few bucks to watch these kids. Do you see what I mean? While you present your meeting and have a little kids party in the other room.
Make sure no one falls in the pool.
Yeah, make sure no one falls in the pool, but that's the whole idea. So you have to decide that, beforehand, so you're not like, oh my gosh, it's or some kid thinks it's cool, lady walks up and chugs that bottle,
Yeah.
Non-toxic.
No,
that's a lot of
I like that. I mean, and those two different types of events with kids, without kids. I mean, you could kind of prepare for those very differently. Like the one with kids, maybe you have it midday and it's loud. You got music playing and you're talking to people for a while or whatever. And then the other side of it is, especially with the eternity, because it is basically uh, what 200 glasses of wine, 200 plus glasses of wine in one shot glass, probably basically. So you almost turn it into like a mood. You know, you have it in the evening, you have it, um,
If you're gonna have it
more.
Saturday afternoon, Elliot, you're gonna have kids. If you have it
Yeah,
Tuesday
yeah.
night at 7 o'clock, it's gonna be different. It's a
Yeah,
different.
but I mean, I can see doing it both ways, and both could work really well.
They do both work really well. I do them, and I love them. And like I said, I'm going to continue to do them, in the new home about every 20 days. But again, I recommend that when you start out to build momentum, put 3 or 4 right in a row, about 2 weeks apart. And 2 weeks apart doesn't mean every Friday or anything like that. Experiment with your times, because a lot of people will come over while children are in school, but it's most powerful if you do it on a time that both husband and wife can be there, because they're going to say, I have to make a decision, with my spouse, and then you're going to do the presentation twice. You want to do the presentation once. So, those are things to decide, and I'll say your neighborhood, your culture, how things work out.
Yeah,
Powerful.
that makes sense. And we got about 5 minutes left. I want to try to keep it to an hour just because we're going to put this in the back office as a separate training module for everybody. I mean, because I think this is a perfect overview of how to get one of these kicked off, get your first one under your belt. Get a handful of people there, and like like Jeff said, increase those exposures, and they'll grow over time, and then you'll need the big hotel room. Um,
Elliot, I got to make everyone feel comfortable here, and I'm gonna blow you guys' minds, because this is really simple. I hear people say this, and they go, I don't know if I could do a taste and talk and this and that. And it's kind of like, to me, I'm going to give you my little analogy. It's kind of like saying, I don't know if I could network market. Network market, like I said, is referral marketing, right? So, and word of mouth marketing. So you've been network marketing your whole life. You probably just haven't been met and paid for it. I've had so many taste and talks, and so have people on the team. If you ever had one or more people at your home and you were telling them about your products, you were doing a taste and talk. So you were already doing it. It's the same thing. It's a little more structured, but it's not like you're going to start drawing circles on a board. You don't have to do it like that. So I'm pretty excited, about this. And I understand what you mean, Elliot. We don't want someone to see that this is 3 hours long and go, oh my gosh, it's going to take me 3 hours to learn how to do a taste and talk. But there's a lot of gold nuggets in here.
yeah, there is. I mean, is there anything that you feel like you missed at all that you definitely want to hit on?
I will tell you that no one does a taste and talk like this. This is 20 years of network marketing experience, and kind of the do's and don'ts. Don't put up your whiteboard and circle it. This is your friends in your home. Just talk to them. Oh, you don't have to put on your business suit, okay? Because it's like, hey, something's up. like Elliot, you got your Badgers hat on and your shirt. That's how your neighbors normally see, and you're hanging out. It's okay to be like that. This should be fun. This shouldn't be nervous for you or anything else. You have the best products in the world. I mean, it's incredible. It's surreal what we have here, and this is not what this was about, but it's surreal for real. So you don't have to put on your three-piece suit. Just be yourself. That's
Yeah,
about it.
that's definitely a good tip because that'll be especially
I
when
would
your
wear just
friends.
like I have on my shirt, what I would normally wear if I'm hanging out, and that's that.
Yeah, I mean when your friends walk in with their t-shirt and shorts, you don't want to be you don't want to be in a suit and have them wonder what the hell's going on.
Right. How much are they going to take me for tonight? Am I going to be writing a check for $1,000 by the end of the night, or are we going to pull out the credit card? $3,000. No, nothing like that at all. I just love it. And you don't have to. This is just friendly. You're telling about things you have, and you know what your friends like what like. It's based on age and this and that. If you're watching this and you're 18 to 21 years old, maybe you won't be marketing eternity. Maybe you won't be marketing the skin cream. I'm just saying maybe, but
Right.
maybe you'll be marketing Sizzling. There's so many products. I mean, I know we want to wrap this up,
I
Elliot,
mean,
but my
well,
gosh,
the
200
coffee, the
products.
coffee though, Jeff. I mean,
Oh, the coffee
anyone,
is huge.
yeah, I mean anyone at any legal age knows a dozen people that drink coffee.
Yeah, there's
So
no question. I mean, to be a distributor, you got to be 18, but I mean, come on, kids are drinking in high school and even before that, they're drinking coffee.
I mean, and that's the thing. I think one thing to remember, we kind of got into the triangle of life because that's a product that Jeff and I really like, Sizzling and stuff like that. But even if you did just a cafe taste and talk, that would be real. Number one, it'd be really really easy because you've basically got one product to talk about, and that there's a few variations of it. You're Everyone knows what coffee is. You're not convincing them that coffee is good. Obviously, they want to try it, but it makes it so easy. You just focus on that one product, and like you say, you're just having a handful of people over, trying some new coffee, and signing them up.
Elliot, I'm not going to do it, but just to make your point, I mean, here's our timeless minerals, this entire makeup line.
Right.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, if you're into that, I will tell you, you're going to impress people who are. I mean, there's a lot of toxins in makeup. The major ones are definitely linked to cancer, and I will tell you this from what I've heard from the women, this works better, costs way less, and it's non-toxic. So I'm just saying, Elliot, I just wanted to bring it home. I mean, you're right. If I like Taste and Talk doesn't just mean this. You could have a timeless mineral party, but I love the age reversal party because that is not going around, is it? Age reversal party.
Yeah,
That's
that would be
powerful.
awesome.
And you're
That
going to
would,
get to taste these elixirs. Maybe we'll get some big gold goblets.
yeah.
And
Next time, let's plan one. Next time I'm down in Florida,
Oh, yeah.
we'll do a big age reversal party. That'd be fun.
Big goblets that are glass and beautiful.
Yeah,
Mix
yeah.
our concoctions together. Well, Elliot, let's wrap it up. You want to get the final word? So
No, I think it's great. I mean, a lot of things here can be applied to so many different parts of this, and one thing to remember that even I remind myself of all the time is you're just having conversations. We talked on the morning call this morning. For Mindset Monday was this morning, and it was, Nathan Robinson had brought up how he had this. Using my word, epiphany, that he kind of got into this comfortable, vibe of just having conversations and not feeling like you're selling anything, because that's not what this is about. It's about information and helping your friends and family and people you meet better their lives, whether it's with a product or whether it's with a business. And you're not going to get to that point if you don't start it, if you don't start those conversations. But it's a good reminder that it really is just a conversation. I guess what I'll say is every Monday night, 9 Eastern, our team does training webinars. So make sure it's on our calendar in our team site back office. Make sure you get that calendar and keep it close. Put the events on your calendar so you get notifications of them. Morning call every single morning, Monday through Saturday, for our team and anyone else that's interested in learning about our team and Sisel. You're more than welcome to tune in. We try to keep our team trainings as private as we can. They do get out there every once in a while, which is fine. But the live parts are really, the live versions are really for our team. So that's all I got, Jeff. I know you got to go to the other room to actually log us out of here, but
I'll get working on that. Have your last few words till it goes dead here. This was awesome. I just love this Sizzle Global Takeover team. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, it really is. It's been a lot of fun these last few months, and getting to know people and watching people grow. So thanks everyone who joined us, and I know there's a lot of people watching. So thank you to all of you as well. Come on live with us next time, and I think next week's going to be a little bit more of a roundtable.